Hello, 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 JC Darcy. Yes, indeed, the Cryptid Creeks tune. I checked so hard to see if I was able to stream it, and I was like, sod it, it's a really good tune. So I thought I'd put that on, and this is the ambient track as well. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns, and this is Too Long Didn't Read Tabletop RPGs, where for about an hour or two as an accountability stream, I will read through an RPG of my choice. Hello, hello, Realms Pop. Nice to see you here, my friend. Hope you're doing well on this. What's it now? Just after 5, so clock your time. It's so good. Yes, I do love the music. Well, I'll get into that in a second. Let me just do the whole spiel at the beginning, that I know that we might have some other people watching this today. So yes, this is a accountability stream where we read along in a tabletop RPG fashion of an RPG that either has been recommended to me, is something that's been on the backlist, and we read for an hour or two, get through as much as we can, and have just a discussion about what we like about it, what, if anything, needs to be improved, and any accessibility things, because RPGs in general are for everyone, no matter who you are and what life you come from. I hope you're all doing very well today, friends. I'm just going to get straight into it, because this was a request to do this one, so I'm very excited to do this. So this is today's tabletop RPG stream. We're going to be looking at Cryptid Creeks. Just ignore the misspelling that Nightbot did. I corrected it quickly because I was like, God damn it. I always spell it wrong. So that is on my project. I'm going to do it again so people can check it out as well. So we're going to look at the Quickstart, Cryptid Creeks, which was funded on Kickstarter last year, I believe, and the full PDF is coming out in mid-June. So you can check it out. Bloody Nightbot. Yeah, I blame Nightbot for getting cryptid wrong and not putting an extra P in there. An extra P, just a P in there. But yes, I got asked to do this by Rich of Hatching Games, who is a friend of the show indeed, and we absolutely love Rich. Highly recommend checking out Hatching Games in general. You want to look at RPGs that are different in the sense of that they are accessible and very family friendly, and I'll go into a little bit of that as we go. Let me know, folks, if the music is too loud. I'm going to be using the music we can get with the quick start. So this is the ambient track now, and we had a hear of the theme tune earlier as well. So let me know if it's a bit too loud. I can always turn it down as well. Actually, I might just turn it down just for the hell of it, just so that you can hear my lovely, lovely dulcet tones. Tiny bit down. But always good to hear what I'm saying. I'm important. So we're going to go through the quick start today. I think you can be a touch louder, in my opinion. Me, the voice, Realms Pod, because I can definitely turn myself louder, and I also can move my mic a little bit closer as well. But I can turn the music up as well, so let me know. But yeah. Yes, me. Okay, right. I will turn myself up a tiny bit. I don't want to blast out things. Give me 1 second whilst I do that. Yeah, we'll go up to -3. How's that? Okie dokie. Right. Let's go straight into it then. I'm going to go from Big Fiona screen into the game stream. So this is where you can get the Cryptid Creeks, the quick start, which we're going to be looking at today. You can... Sounding lovely. Oh, thank you very much. Well, thank you for being here. I very much appreciate it. So you can get the quick start as Name Your Own Price over on itch. This got released about, I was going to say a couple of months ago. A couple of weeks ago even. And yeah, I got asked by Rich to have a look at this, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to look at the quick start today, and if people are interested, go to, she says, check out the Kickstarter. You can go to the back of that and get your own copy. We'll go into that in a second. Let's do, as always, we're going to read the copy out. I'm going to enhance it, because, my God, my eyes are tiny. My eyes are tiny? Text is tiny, my eyes are tired. It's always the way. Ambient and lovely. That's very kind of you, JC Darcy. So, first of all, as always with Hatchling Games, how gorgeous is the artwork? Incredible. I love it. Again, there's just a few samples of the different art inside you can get with Cryptid Creeks. And what a great cover. I love this cover so much. Again, Rich, I know you'll watch it at some point. Can we get a poster of this, please? I would like posters. All I want in my life, now that I'm an adult and I have a house where I can put things on walls, is RPG posters. That's all I want in my life. So, board your boat, gather some clues, and break ancient curses to save your home. Cryptid Creeks is a tabletop role-playing game that combines the mystery, horror, and coming-of-age genres to emulate popular shows such as Gravity Falls and Stranger Things. Yes, please, art prints and bookmarks. Well, I know Rich does some incredible bookmarks, and they, I believe, if you go to their store at UK Games Store, they'll have little posters of the BSL and ASL, so American Sign Language and British Sign Language, like drawings that they use for Inspire Isles. Again, I'll come back to it in a second. I gotta get on with this. Such as Gravity Falls and Stranger Things. In this RPG, you play a crew of river scouts setting out to save Clawfoot, the place you all call home. Guided by benevolent cryptid, you will travel the waterways, track down clues to dangerous curses, and break them before it's too late. All the while, an eldritch figure known as the Peddler schemes from the shadows, willing you to fail and for Clawfoot to fall. This is a card from Brindlewood game. It's low prep, accessible, and suitable for teens and adults alike. It is inspired by other tabletop RPGs such as the Silt Verses, Monster of the Week, Kids on Bikes, and Sleepaway. All Sleepaway we've covered. I think we've covered. No, Wander Home we covered on this, and all these games absolutely. And then download the Quickstart and the handouts today. If you enjoyed the game, please go to the backer kit, which we'll look at in a second, and all the stuff there. And there's some videos as well. It does. And Spiral's bookmarks are lovely. Oh my god, sorry, no. Not sorry. Oh, sorry, not sorry. Right, I think bookmarks excite me. No, trust me. There's a reason why I've got DM's book club bookmarks. So this is what you can get with the free phone. So not only do you get this quick start, which is incredibly accessible, we have playbooks and reference sheets, which are also form fillable. We've got curse handouts, a Clawfoot map, which is like a black and white map which you can show people, and you have this music all for free. Check out that second video. Well, I know JC Darcy, that second video, because if I go over to Hatchling Games, this quick Kickstarter, the actual page itself, again, there's a lot of information on this page, which we won't go into necessarily. I would recommend checking it out at your own time, because there's some nice little bits that talks about the accessibility and the thought that's gone into it. But I scroll all the way down, so accessibility point, which is great. Having worked for a deaf charity for 12 years and raising a disabled child, making Cryptid Creeks accessible to everyone was really important to us. To honour this commitment, we've hired Chris Hopper, one of the most experienced consultants in the industry. Credits including Tal'Dorei Reborn, Critical Role, most recently Tales from the Valiant from Horrible Press, screen readers, alt text. Very excited for the alt text. Chapter hyperlinks as well as plain text versions. They have color-coded pages as well, intuitive navigation, and the website will have little handouts. Tick. Lovely to see the accessibility exactly now, and there's always dice. I will say all the pins that Hatchling ever does, they are adorable and great. Inspire Isles and Over Isles. So again, if you have heard of Hatchling games before, they are sort of best known for the Inspire Isles, which is their tabletop RPG that teaches British and American Sign Language as you play. And I got a chance to play it. Look at that! It's actually there! The actual play series of Girls Running Swords. Look at this person. God, what a terrible picture. But we're on there, so that's good. And again, you go down a bit more, you can see there are other videos. Look at that. Oh, that Cryptid Creeks. So yeah, if you really want to know how this game works, plenty of resources. You've done your marketing right now. Oh, that series is so good. It's a lot of stuff. Also, the first family-friendly card from Brindlewood Bay. It's all very exciting stuff. Oh, thank you so much, Chaotic Blades. Chaotic Blade 5. Nice to have you here, my friend. So yeah, if you're like, I'm not so sure, like, not only do you get this nice this sort of quick start with all the stuff in it, there's so many versions of this to check out and stuff. And I know there was one recently that came out with a quick start. We're using the quick start as well, so you've got no excuse not to go and check these things out as well. I love Dragon Dowser from Hatchling. I got to playtest it. Oh, hello, Alexander G224. Yes, Dragon Dowser is their other one, so I'll scroll back up. So here as well. So yeah, it's a single player solarpunk RPG. Uses the Carter system, and yeah, and again, let's just say that all the illustrations are beautiful, and they've got some really exciting games coming up. So anyway, you guys can look at this in your own time, but I highly recommend if you're not so sure. First of all, you can get the quick start for free at itch.io, which is in the link in the thing. I'll do it again just in case I forget. But you could also check out if you type in Cryptid Creeks Kickstarter, you come to the Kickstarter page and you can read all the stuff here. I will say the full PDF, as far as I can tell, looking at what has been said and the updates stuff, like, should be out mid-June. Now, obviously, I'm going to leave that up to Rich and Hatchling Games to sort of update on that, but that's quite exciting. Just got a couple of weeks away. So in the meantime, let us go away from this screen and go straight into the, she says, trying to find the buttons, the quick start. Nightbot is slowly catching up. That's great. So first things first, I'm going to say this right at the top. I am not a game designer. I run a lot of games. I have a podcast that looks at different RPG systems. So I'm not. I do not create this for a living. I think I know enough about game design to give a good view of something. I've not played this. I know people who have. So take all this with a pinch of salt when I'm going through it. Like, ultimately, I'm already excited for this game, so that's a little bit of bias in that sort of front. But again, any sort of criticism or critique, it's just purely sort of an initial sort of reaction. I know really if you want to go out and do it, you've got all the quick start stuff. It's free to put together. So ultimately, this sort of review is just for sort of first impressions, so to speak. So always take what I say with a pinch of salt. Also not sponsored by Hatchling Games at all. Just very good friends with the wonderful people that work there. So I'm not getting anything off this, but just to let people know that as well, because I don't want people to think that I'm biased towards them. I am, but not for monetary value. And also, just in case I don't know if any sort of mature themes or horror stuff is going to come up in this, so just check your mileage and that sort of thing. I assume not, or if it is, it's going to be incredibly mild, because obviously this is aimed at sort of a teenage family audience as well. The custom dice for Cryptid Creeks are gorgeous too. Yes, I did see those as well. I was like, basically, I personally think that Hatching Games has a really good base of like, these are good books, solid RPGs that you can play with. I know when they say family friendly, you think, okay, with a younger audience, absolutely true. But I also think to get people into role-playing games as well. Like, it doesn't matter what your age is. Age isn't necessarily a barrier to these sort of things. But I think, like, having a game like this to just play with friends who are interested in role-playing games, but maybe aren't keen to do the really crunchy stuff. And also, Carl from Brindlewood Bay is such a good system for new DMs and GMs as well. So that because of the way it sort of does the structure stuff, and I think it's also very compact, and you can nicely do it in a session or two, which makes something like this perfect. Agreed. Thank you so much, JC Darcy. All right, let's get into it. So first of all, we've already sort of said what a great cover. It's great. It's atmospheric. I love how these people. This person's quite scared, and this person's sort of. I love the jacket on this creature of the night behind. And I'll say, I appreciate you guys can't see this on stream. But I can see alt text, and I know I go on about this. If you've seen previous streams of me do this, I got very excited when I saw alt text as a part of Wander Home, which was J Dragons, because I like, okay, alt text is for people who have accessibility needs, but also it's a way to give a point of view and a tone to your book as well. So I always get excited, and then I get disappointed when I never see it anywhere else. So something to think about for people who are maybe thinking, oh, I want to put together a game. Do consider alt text. Even if it's just for like your logo or something like that, it's just always a nice thing to have. So I'll try and read out as much alt text as I can see it. So what it says here is cover to Cryptid Creeks Quickstart Guide. 5 campers roast s'mores around a moonlit campfire, one gesturing as she tells a scary story. In the background, above the trees, a huge cat is silhouetted against a crescent moon. And see, it's simple. Simple alt text. Literally 2 lines there. Stay curious, stay weird, stay kind, and don't let anyone ever tell you aren't smart or brave or worthy enough. I've only seen a bit of Gravity Falls, I'll be honest. I did like what I saw. We ran a game of... I can't remember what it was called now, but we did it for Where a little while ago, which used the themes of Gravity Falls, and The Owl House, I want to say was the other one. That sort of Saturday night cartoons. I make sure that all my PDFs are compatible with screen readers, and they include alt text. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's just something to think about. I know people don't necessarily think about it, but when we're going into a more digital age and more people are using certainly PDFs to reference stuff, right? You can have the physical, no problem, but I'm always like, oh, I'll just have a quick look on the PDF, see if I can find it quickly as well. And that's the thing, making books, PDFs are accessible for a quick search, and then hyperlink, and then alt text. It's just little things that just take that extra, maybe a couple of days thought about it, but it really adds the quality of someone's experience. And then we've got the credits. As well, everyone here has contributed, fantastic. Also, interesting to note that pronouns are put there as well, which again, I think that's a very nice touch. I know there's that sort of talk about like, oh, you don't have to share pronouns if you feel comfortable to, but I'm very glad that this is here to make it sort of normalised as well. So honestly, nice touch there, guys. I really appreciate that. And it's nice to have such a wonderful team as well. I'm gonna move on. Sorry, what's that button? And let's see. Yep, Hatchling Games logo and orange dragon curls around a teal D20 die. There you go, simple. So we've got thanks for the Kickstarter, which is all good. And then it says, this Quickstart provides everything you need to run a few episodes of Cryptid Creeks, including the basic rules, 3 playbooks, 2 curses, a riverbank stop, and a guide to running the pilot episode. So yeah, everything all in there. And then to pre-order the game, visit this link, which is clickable. Sometimes it's not. Nice work. Oh, what a great image there. A tall person wearing a trench coat and carrying a large suitcase stands in a crowd of people as seen from overhead. They look up at the view with a slight smile. Their wristwatch is up as if they've been checking it, and they carry a large suitcase in the other hand. Nice. I like that. The colours of it are gorgeous as well, right? The orange and the greens. I really like that. And, yeah. Right, I'm going to take some water. As always, hydrate. So, it's a fine day with only a few white streaks in the sky. The light wind ruffles your hair and the tips of the fir trees as you sit on the grassy bank with your friends, looking down over the bustling docks. Gulls ride the air currents above the glistening water. Their repetitive screech, a familiar soundtrack to life in Clawfoot. The midday ferry, Tranquility, is making its way across the waves, drawing ever closer to its berth. Dock workers are readying for its arrival, dragging large crates and coiling ropes in neat serpentine piles. Small fishing boats, their faded hulls, paint peeling and crusted with salt, rise up and down on the swell from the ferry. Finally, the Tranquility is moored and its gangplank lowered. The people disembarking are the usual day trippers from the estuary, and you're about to turn and eat another sandwich. Yep, that is usually me. When someone catches your eye. A tall visitor moves effortlessly through the crowd, despite the bulky battered case by their side. Your focus stays on them as they drift up the docks and onto the quay. They pause there for a moment and glance about slowly, apparently taking in their surroundings. A cloud crosses the sun, and even though it's a balmy day, you feel yourself shiver uncontrollably. The visitor is gazing directly up at you, and the urge to retreat behind the tall grass is overwhelming. But before you can act, the sun returns, and they are gone, leaving behind a feeling not easily shaken. Whoa. There you go, and then we've got the content. So we've got in total 3, 6, 9, about 11 chapters, which is good. So we're going to have, looks like a setting. So welcome to Clawfoot, gameplay basics, moves, elements, options, structure, navigator, the basics. Oh, navigator, is that our title for GMs? I think it is. Curses, riverbank stops, pilot episode, and navigator tools. We're going to get through as much of this as possible. Hello, Sam. Hello. How are you doing, my friend? Nice to have you here. So we're going to get through as much as we can. Oh, I forgot to say at the beginning, this Quickstart is 117 pages according to the PDF reader, which is a lot for a Quickstart, I will say. So I'm very excited to see what we have for it, and I think maybe it's also to do with the layout of it as well. There's less text on page and more sort of spread out in sort of the art as well, which I'm a big fan of. No 2 columns for me. So, like I said, we're going to get through as much as we can. I'm hoping to get to at least episode structure, and then maybe leave it there and come back another time, perhaps. Also, how gorgeous is these little bits of art around the side? These sort of thing. I love that. Lots of character. All right. Also, I've said this before. So sometimes we have that texture on the paper as well, which I do really like. But sometimes, if you were going to print this stuff out, it would take a lot of ink to do so. I can see it's only ever so slight, which I quite appreciate. But it definitely feels like a well used or a used book, so to speak. I quite like that. Oh, but it changes colour. How exciting! Welcome to Clawfoot. Cryptid Creeks is a tabletop role-playing game, or TTRPG, about a crew of river scouts entangled in a conflict between powerful cryptids. I'm going to say that word wrong all the time, by the way, guys. I'm so sorry. The game begins with a curse, a blight reoccurring over the centuries, ripping the region of Clawfoot. Curses always spring from trinkets sold by the peddler. an eldritch being intent on spreading chaos and misery throughout the community. His reappearance in Clawfoot is of particular concern to the Watcher, a benevolent creature who has existed in harmony with the townsfolk since ancient times. The scouts must track down and destroy the peddler's trinkets before Clawfoot is overwhelmed. Oh, what a great concept. The game invokes popular movies from the 80s, particularly The Goonies and Stand By Me, alongside modern TV shows such as Gravity Falls and Stranger Things. It is a deeply personal project for the designer, having spent much of his childhood on the river whilst his parents turned a run-down folk boat into something seaworthy. Ah, nice. The game's mechanics are based in part on Apocalypse World by Vincent and Nege Baker, with the mystery system and phase structure lifted from Brindlewood Bay and the Silksburst RPG by Jason Cordova and Gabriel Robinson, respectively. You don't need to know anything about those games in order to play, which is fair. It's nice to have them credited as well. I already have a parasocial relationship with the peddler. I love him. Okay, JC Darcy. No, clearly a bad man. a bad individual. I like that though. It makes me think of Needful Things by Stephen King, which obviously is a much darker story, but that idea of selling things that you want and then getting more than you bargained for. I always enjoyed that story quite a bit, but I appreciate very different there. He can be fixed. No, Sam size. No, clearly. Look. I'm gonna go back and look at this image of the peddler. Now, look at that face. I'm gonna zoom in on it. No, I was Team Brasco. I know you were Team Brasco. That's completely different to what we're doing. This person, I would have like a proper wanted poster on this guy. No, they are not. They're not to be trusted. Right. Anyway, back to our normal. Okay. You guys overlap, right? Cryptid Creeks is designed to accommodate RPG beginners, and the overall vibe is cozy horror, meaning it alternates between comforting and creepy fiction. Look at that face. They are mischievous. You little rapscallion, you. Alright, let's move on to the next one. So this, I appreciate my thing probably... Nah, it doesn't work, unfortunately. So this is would be a 2-page spread of the map. And I will say the Quickstart... Oh, I've ruined everything now. How have I ruined things? There we go. The Quickstart also comes with a black and white printout of an image thing. For reasons I couldn't get it to show on here for whatever reason, but you can go check it out yourself. It's a really nice map. It's very cozy. Would like it on a tea towel. That was the other thing I was thinking about. It's I'm sure people saw that Free League have once again put out yet another Kickstarter on their Blade Runner stuff, and it's yes, okay. Feelings about that aside, but one of the things I quite liked about one of their previous Kickstarters with the Lord of the Rings one is that they had a cloth map as one of their Kickstarter goals, and you could put that and use that on a table. There's something about a cloth map that sounds really good. So. The art alone justifies buying this. 100% Alexander. It's beautiful. Yes, the colours are so vibrant as well. I really like it. And I like the eddies as well, and the ways you can see where the stream sort of comes from. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Alt text. A hand-drawn map of the region of Clawfoot, a small town of Shingleford, is nestled in a mountain valley in the front of which a river winds in an exaggerated S shape. Details include a mouth-like cave, hand-shaped rocks, and a lonely house on an island indicate there may be more to this place than a simple valley. You see what I mean about alt text? I love that. Look at that. Let's go there. Who lives here? And then on the other side, love that. Oh, and I always love a good compass as well. And I love the map is mostly unlabeled, and your scouts can name and create places as they wish. Ooh, that's great. I love that as well. Yeah, being able to add something to really make it personal. Look at the colours on the side of the leaves and the feathers here. Gorgeous. That's a great point, JC Darcy. There you go. So, what does Eldritch mean? Strange or unnatural, especially in a way that inspires fear. The peddler has been corrupted by an eldritch force that lies deep beneath Clawfoot. Whenever we mention the term eldritch, we mean a kind of sinister power. The term is also used to separate it from a more wholesome supernatural elements that appear from the game. Yeah. I still think he's at fault. I still think he's been corrupted. Nah, absolutely not. The setting. So, the picturesque town of Shingleford is situated on the cusp of Clawfoot Estuary and is the place the River Scouts call home. The waterfront satisfies the tourist trade with artisan gift shops, greasy diners, a crumbling museum, and a boatyard that doubles as a scrapyard. Inland, you find community buildings including the school, the police station, the church, library, and town hall. Following the river north, you'll pass Bulrush Island, a small outcrop occupied by prior Shingleford resident Hilda Buckle, whose tiny cabin emits a constant spiral of chimney smoke. The Tranquility Ferry chugs between Shingleford and its closest neighbour, Stonewater, an affluent town at the base of the mountain range. Beside the towns and island, any map landmarks can be explored and named by the players as their characters travel the waterways aboard a rundown sailing dinghy. The Cryptid Creeks is a collaborative game, with players often having as much creative input as the navigator, our turn for the participant running the game. Yes, I just want a good name. A navigator is great. Plot twist, he is the Eldritch Power. I knew it. It's perfect. How dare you? I can fix him. For a list of Shingleford key locations in the town, folks, see the navigator's tools at the end. Great, so we always have a bit of that. You know what, has reminded me a little bit, and I'm sure this is obvious in terms of inspirations of places to go. The Hilda series, the comics, and also the Netflix series would probably be a good introduction to this as well, because it's got enough supernatural stuff to be going on. Also, I think incredibly well written, and has some really good themes in it, like that is explored. So I would recommend checking that out if you haven't. And also, you've got Hilda there, so I assume that also is an inspiration. All right, I will say as well. So normally on these books, I have to zoom in quite a bit because my eyes are terrible, and also sometimes you can't really read, especially when you got two columns and stuff like that. It's very hard to read online. I've not really had to zoom in on this, and hopefully you guys can see it. Do tell me otherwise. I can zoom in so people can have a look as well. But I very much appreciate it that the text is big enough for me to read. I presume it's supposed to be for a younger audience as well to read it well, and it's not overwhelming, the text as well. And it certainly is easier to read aloud, and sort of it's an easy read, so to speak. I also quite like, maybe you can see it just about, even though it's green, you can still see bits of the map. Like, again, that sort of little bit of patterning on there as well. I believe Hilda is one of Rich's faves, and that is a direct reference. Amazing. Well, good taste there. I absolutely recommend it. It did make me cry, the film. I need to finish season 4, I think it came out, right? Alright, River Scouts. So the River Scouts were a youth organisation that disbanded shortly after a series of harrowing events in 1962. Their existence might have been forgotten about altogether had a group of local teens not stumbled across their abandoned clubhouse by the river, cleared away the overgrowth, and made the interior mostly safe. After dusting off moth-eaten manuals and rehanging a dartboard, the group were visited by an apparition of a young girl. Instead of running scared, the teens felt compelled to listen as she recounted her role in lifting the terrible curse all those years ago. As more ghosts materialized, the girl pleaded for the teens to read aloud the River Scout pledge and protect Clawfoot as she had in the 60s. The group read together, and as their words filled the old clubhouse, they seemed to stir something enormous overhead, its shifting weight shaking the roof and dislodging piles of leaves. Hilda Buckle. So before she left Shingleford, Hilda Buckle could usually be found recounting one of her many fanciful tales at Frankie's Diner. Back then, the Scouts were certain that she only told them to spook local kids and uphold her quirky reputation. Oh, I feel quite seen. This is the sort of weird aunt, alternative aunt that I would definitely grow up to be. That all changed with the appearance of the clubhouse ghost. It was clear that Hilda's stories of the supernatural were entirely true. How does one manage to cultivate a vibe of cozy horror? I think I'd struggle. Well, interestingly, again, Alexander, I'm sure if you're a big fan of this book, then you might have looked at Brindlewood Bay, because I do like what I like in Brindlewood Bay is that, okay, it is unusual, quotation marks, people that you're playing. You're not playing young detectives, you're playing older, elderly women whose partners have passed on, and so you engage in those cozy activities with one another or each other, and you can choose what those are, gardening, all that sort of thing. And I quite like how that is that, it's like everyday life for these people up against sort of like the ongoing over top horrors. I think it is a balance for sure, but I like that it was a deliberate, like, hey, in order for you to clear conditions, you have to do your cozy activity with one other murder maven, as they're called in Brindlewood Bay. So I quite like that. Here, again, we'll find out. I'm sure there would be activities or something similar, but again, I think the music really makes it, doesn't it? Sorry, I'm like, oh, this is great. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it works for this one. Clubhouse ghosts. So ghosts from the 60s still linger in the ramshackle clubhouse, regardless of when or where they passed away. If the scouts are gathered at the clubhouse, the spirits will appear to reminisce about the old days or complain about the state of their beloved hideaway. Hilda Buckle was once their leader and now lives in solitude as the only surviving scout. Ooh, more on these clubhouse ghosts and their sashes. See gameplay basics, which we'll get onto in a second. So you overcome eldritch horror with knitting. I like it. I mean, if you're going to boil it down to its basic terms, yes. I mean, to be fair, that is all more, like it's more inspired by TV detective shows, like Murder, She Wrote, that sort of thing, about like, unassuming older elderly women solving the crimes, who then just go home and have a cup of tea and read their book afterwards, because they enjoy the book club sort of stuff. So yeah. All right, the Peddler. So in addition to introducing us to Clawfoot, the opening Tranquility Passage presents our first impression of the Peddler. After stepping from the ferry, he'll immediately sell an assortment of trinkets to residents from his bottomless travelling case. While their new owners sleep, the trinkets take their deepest resentments and twist them into curses. They have become curse keepers, as protective of their trinkets as Gollum was of the One Ring. Intoxicated by eldritch power, they set their curses on a chosen target, terrorizing an individual, family, or establishment. Ooh. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, this guy seems this peddler person seems a bit. Oh, I've just stopped at the ferry. I'm gonna sell all my trinkets. Oh no, are they doing bad things? Oh no. Oh no, I'll just keep selling them then. Okay, guys. You say not a bad person. That looks like a tentacle. Those look like tentacles. Is this a game of like Octodad? So the peddler carries a battered leather travelling case with an eldritch insignia sewn into it. Oh yeah, you can see it there. Oh, that's quite cool. Wears a dated outfit reflecting the fashions of a bygone era. Displays jewellery with his eldritch insignia such as piercings, cufflinks, and rings. Covers his uniquely shaped pupils with sunglasses. Sorry. Enhance. Yeah, can't really tell on the image, but I was like, oh. Is always smiling regardless of the circumstances, as if he is wearing a mask. Oh, absolutely do not trust this person at all. Casually drops bizarre words and phrases into conversations as if they are commonly used, and hints at his eldritch power, usually with a tentacle that slips free of a trouser leg or jacket sleeve. Right, guys. Look at him. Tentacles. I never said not bad. I said perfect. I said I loved him. Hello, fellow humans. Exactly. Like, I love this characterization of it. Again, having a character like this, like an antagonist, for me, as a navigator, I'd be like, yes, absolutely. What else could I do? And just be like, always that sort of grinning, like, haha, you pesky kids will never stop me. Hee. Oh yeah, love that sort of stuff. I like these sort of like little notes, like the sort of roleplay notes as well. Like, drops casually bizarre words and phrases into conversations. This is the thing, I'm going to say this right now, as an improviser. One thing I've found is that if you don't know, say you get sci-fi as a genre when you're doing a scene, and people go, oh, I don't know anything about sci-fi. It doesn't matter. Make up words and just use them confidently. Like, the Tracker 219, it's reading, a the Plexan waves, they are really going off the scale. Like, if you, I appreciate that, I've just made the top of my head, it's not great, but like, saying those words aloud, it just, it just makes it canon. And as long as you say them clearly and other people start using it, it becomes the sort of terminology of that world. So I think maybe that is something that I would recommend here, is I absolutely use this one. I love that. Oh, I forgot there's alt text as well. Sorry, let me read that out. So a short-haired figure in a trench coat extends a hand as if to shake. A tentacle wraps around underneath their waist, and more emerge from their pants cuffs. They hold a battered briefcase with a strange symbol. Very good. I joke. I love him because I think he's going to be a fantastic villain to play. Yes, absolutely, Jason does. I see it. It's giving the navigator a lot of support, and that's brilliant. Or animated crockery and knickknacks from a French manor, for example. Yes, exactly. For stuff to give. Love that. Yeah. It's the Watcher. Whether inspired by a real animal or something entirely fantastical, the Watcher always resembles a giant creature living on the roof of the clubhouse. I mean, that's terrifying, but I like it. The character takes inspiration from the titular forest spirit in Studio Ghibli's My Neighbor. Oh my god, what was it? Toroto. I can never say it. I know who you mean. Totoro. Totoro, yeah. Sorry, it takes me a little while. My Neighbor Totoro. A curious mix of Japanese fauna such as raccoons, cats, and owls. It is the Watcher's role to inform the scouts of new curses and to guide them in their search for clues. Much like the character of Totoro even, they'll also be a safe harbour for the crew if things become overwhelming. Imagine the peddler and the Watcher on opposite sides of the same coin. Powerful supernatural entities with conflicting feelings towards Clawfoot. From popular culture, think Marvel characters Magneto or Professor X, or Lady Eboshi and Princess Mononoke from Studio Ghibli's other animated classic. I will say Princess Mononoke. I've only seen bits of it. I know I'm very bad. What else? Yeah, that's from UK. That's from UK GE last year. Viva la Revolution. The Eries. Shortly. Oh, I see what you guys are talking about. Right. That is such a niche reference. I completely forgot about the game we did at UK Games Expo. That took me a second there. Okay. All right. I get you now. That's a different game entirely. You can't just be doing references to a game I did like a year ago. Yeah, Be Our Guest. That's the name of the game. Yes, absolutely. I completely forgotten that. I think that'll be a year ago this week, I think, or roughly. Yeah, it was a damn good time. It was a super fun time. Really good. It was well organised by us and not UK Games Expo. The Eries. Shortly after the Watcher's arrival, as if a window to a previously unseen world was cracked, the scouts begin to see tiny cryptids known as Eries. The Eries will deliver information about curses to the Watcher, but the giant cryptid is quick to warn the scouts of their chaotic and mischievous nature. Indeed, it is abundantly clear that most local stories can be attributed to the Eries. Oh, so a little bit like Basin in a way as well. Apologies, it was very funny though. Not at all, no. I realise now, I was like, I don't know what's going on. There's a joke that I'm not involved in, and the people at the back of the class are having fun without me. No, absolutely. It was very funny. No, it was a great game. Oh, it's this weekend. I'm going to miss having you there. Well, you guys are going to have fun without me. I'll just be here. Reading. I think actually my partner is away at a Magic the Gathering tournament, so I'll probably get lots of editing done. Well, that's good. I love these little creatures. Of course, there's alt text. A blobby blue creature with beady white eyes. Let's see what the other one was. Oh no, there wasn't. Whilst they can appear whenever the scouts look, they prefer to gather around old landmarks, places that have been overrun with a nature or possessed history. What's the alt text? A grey cat with 4 translucent wings rises from its arched back, regarding the viewer with glowing pupilless eyes. Love this creature. This is great. It's done in such a style of like, obviously beautiful illustration, but it doesn't seem scary or overly friendly. It just seems like supernatural. I was gonna say unnatural. So. I'm just saying, Fiona, I'm not jealous of everyone else at all. Look, Sam, all I'm saying is that if you spend all of your money to get on a flight to Indianapolis, you and I will have the best time at Gen Con. That's all I'm saying. anyway, you've got all your cool events happening. Have you not got the crab museum thing happening? That's not this week, is it? It was Science and Sorcery. I mean, I don't know, these cool collaborations you're having with the Vagina Museum and the Crab Museum, I'm like, damn, why did you do them before I left? I'd go there. Though we've provided images for all these characters, feel free to present them however you wish. Ideally, they should connect visually with the tone and themes each table wishes to explore. Nice. Gameplay mechanics. Oh, look at these ghosts of the scouts. Three ghosts of children wearing scouts sashes float above a nighttime lake. The middle one holds her finger up as if explaining an idea, whilst the other two watch her in excitement. Ah, yeah. This one's online, so I can get to stay home. Oh, very good, very good. Oh, make sure you post. I know you'll post about it anyway, Sam, but make sure you post about it and stuff, because I would definitely like it. What would your watcher look like, Fiona? Ooh, good question. Inspired by a real animal or something entirely. I think, because I'm very boring when it comes to what animals look like and that sort of thing. Like, I see what it's sort of going for there. You know what? Because I've lived obviously before I moved. I lived in London for so long. It'll be a giant fox, like massive. Maybe I can't remember what it's called now, but there's that other Studio Ghibli film with the raccoon families, with the questionable genitalia stuff, which we'll leave it there. It'll be that sort of size, perhaps. A fine choice. That's very kind of you. I think foxes are great. I love foxes. I was talking to someone the other day about the ghosts of Shima. I said Temeshima. That's not the word. But that game. And you have little side quests where you follow foxes to luck shrines. And I just spent all the time doing that. I didn't care about the main missions, I just followed the foxes. That was more fun. Types of play. The session of Cryptid Creeks is called an episode, and if you're playing multiple episodes, you're participating in a series. So it definitely does feel like that TV style cartoony, like Gravity Falls-esque. Whichever you choose. Excuse me. We always begin with the pilot episode. A step-by-step guide to running the game for new players, which you will find towards the end of the text. Though Cryptid Creeks can be played in a single session as a one-shot, you'll lose much of the conflict from spreading curses and the peddler's schemes. A number of episodes will vary from group to group, which some will take the time to develop their characters and relationships, whilst others will plow ahead to break the curses as quickly and efficiently as possible. As long as everyone's having fun, there's no wrong way to play. Ghosts, yes, exactly that game. Exactly. Ghosts of Tsushima. Apparently that's because foxes are spirits according to Japanese folklore. Yes, exactly, and I quite enjoyed that game. I also liked, again, completely aside from this, the way you navigate in that game is if you press a button, the wind blows flowers in the direction to your next quest point. And so racing your horse along the way and then clicking that and then seeing the flowers go off to the right, you go, oh, whoops. I just really like that. And it was just, yeah, such a beautiful game. And you can play it in, the wind mechanic is so good. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to restart playing it because I finished the first island and it goes, and now you have 3 more islands to do. And I was like, no, I've got other things to do. Better than Google Maps. Yes, I always like to work out where true north is through wind. But what I liked as well, like, and the director's cut is either coming to Steam or on Steam. I'm looking forward to playing it in black and white and having it subbed and not dubbed as well. Can't wait. More aesthetic. Exactly. So role-playing in Cryptid Creeks. A RPG game enables a group of friends to tell a collaborative story that will evolve and change through their characters' actions. Ultimately, it's down to the navigator to decide how much creative input they want from players, but sharing this responsibility from the outset will encourage the collaboration we're hoping for. Role-playing in Cryptid Creeks should feel like a conversation between the navigator and the players, as if all participants are sharing one of Hilda Buckle's notorious stories. It's the navigator's responsibility to describe how the world reacts to the scouts, to portray the characters they'll interact with, and ensure the episodes feel cinematic by presenting a series of challenges. Players can decide how their scouts respond to these challenges by narrating their actions to trigger moves. Once a move is triggered, the conversation is paused. Moves will typically involve rolling dice, interpreting the results, and narrating the outcome of a scene. Once a move is resolved, the conversation can restart where it left off. A very nice, like straightforward example of like how do we run Apocalypse World? How do we run it's Apocalypse. What's it? Anything from the Apocalypse. Powered by the Apocalypse games. That's what I was. Powered by the Apocalypse games. That's a great example. The following example, it demonstrates how this could go. The players' names are followed by their characters' names in brackets. Right, I love this. Excuse me, let me take some water first. So, I love having play examples like this. I'm not going to read them out because, again, I don't have that many voices. Don't have even this one just now. But I like how it's in a box. It's very clear that this is a play example. And yeah, it's nice that because before it'd be like, oh, so-and-so is playing Caleb and Alex is playing Charlie. Like you have that little bit at the beginning. The navigator, Lucy, having it all here is like just all incorporated like a script. I think is really good as a way of doing it. So yeah, I like the fact it's in a box. And it's italicized as well, because we looked at a couple of quick starts recently, and all it was that the play text was just italicized, and there was no way to indicate that it was a play example necessarily, other than it says, for example. So I always like being able to pick out instantly, like, oh, that's an example. I can read through it if I don't understand what's going on. So I very much appreciate that. I love this like the netting effect at the back is very good. I'm like, yeah, what a great layout. I really like this. So abilities. Abilities represent a scout's attributes and apply to most die rolls in the game. They can have modifiers from -3 to +3. The abilities are athletic, smart, cool, smooth, and attuned. Athletic is used for actions involving physical exertion, endurance, and dexterity. Smart is used for actions involving mental aptitude, problem solving or strategy. Cool is used for actions involving steady nerves, leadership, or stealth. Smooth is used for actions involving social interaction, charm, or influence. And attuned is used for any actions involving anything supernatural or other. Abilities are used to determine the outcome of moves. Abilities are used to determine the outcome of moves and can mean the difference between success and failure. Look how cute that little one is up there. Oh, and there's an example there. So the game itself uses 2 6-sided dice to perform moves, with a spare for advantage and disadvantage rolls. Moves will ask you to roll 2d6, total the outcome, and then adjust for any relevant ability modifier. If the move refers to a hit, it means a result of 7 or more. If it refers to a miss, it means a result of 6 or less, and will ask for a reaction from the navigator, so the navigator gets to make it. And here we go here. So we got a roll of 6 or less is a miss with a reaction, 7 to 9 is a hit with a complication, 10 to 11 is a hit, and a 12 plus is a triumph with a benefit. And that's it. That's all you need. The success you need that. I love that in rulebooks. It helps you actually understand the rules and context. Yes, these example things. I agree, and they're the most common ways of like understanding rules without playing it or listening to a thing, like having them in there. But you really have to, I think, signal to people. Like sometimes, in what I've seen as a trend recently is like putting the example in a column, like on the side of the page, or GM notes and that side, and that's fine. I don't mind that. But I think anything like this, if you're keeping it in that, you need to like border it or put it on a different color background, or just make it stand out from the rules text a little bit. Because sometimes you're like, I need to read this. I don't understand. As we said that with the Call of Cthulhu one that we did the other week. Advantage and disadvantages. So when you have an advantage, roll 3 6-sided dice and keep the highest 2. Total the outcome, and then adjust for any relevant ability modifier. You typically have advantage due to the following. So a move gives you an advantage. A scout uses an unmarked item from their clubhouse collection. Oh, nice. And the navigator feels it's justified. When you're at disadvantage, the same thing is true, except you keep the 2 lowest, total the outcome, and adjust for any relevant ability modifiers. You'd be typically at disadvantage due to the following. So a misfortune impedes your scout's action. And the navigator feels it's justified. If you ever have advantage or at disadvantage, they cancel out simultaneously. Also, if you have them both at the same time, they cancel each other out, leaving to roll 2d6 as normal. They do not stack, and one cannot trump the other. lifting the spirit sash. So after reciting the pledge, the scouts are given a set of sashes. Ooh, try and say that when you've had a little bit of too much water. Were given a set of sashes Clubhouse Ghosts once wore. These remnants of their past lives are connected directly to a particular ghost, allowing their supernatural energies to be channeled to help the scouts alter their fate. Ooh. When a curse nears its peak, navigators will be far tougher. The navigator will be far tougher on the crew. After a move has been rolled and after the outcome has been narrated, the player can choose to alter their scout's fate by lifting the spirit's sash. Mechanically, then, they increase their die result by 1 success tier, so a miss becomes a mixed success, etc., etc. We then narrate a completely new outcome on what was previously narrated does not occur. So this is very similar to, again, Brindlewood Bay has it with crowns, and Between has it with masks. That idea of going, that does not happen. It's very much like, no. I think you'll find I lift the sash, You might be asking, why does a navigator go to the efforts of narrating a result when a player is just going to change it anyway? Because it's fun. At its heart, Cryptid Creeks is a storytelling game. The sashes allow us to experience one, calamitous path, and then return to the crossroads to walk another. It also gives us a moment to put the clubhouse ghosts in the spotlight as they seize a second chance at defeating the peddler for good. You know what? I'm sure it's going to come up. I hope they have patches that we can buy at some point. I'm already like, oh, I like that patch. I want to have that. Oh, hello! Hello, Super Dylan. How are you doing, my friend? Nice to have you. Not seen you around for a little bit. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. I appreciate you said you were working and stuff. But I hope you managed to have a lot of rest, and I hope the recording went well on Saturday. You've come in just in time for presumably on a lunch break of some sort. We're just in the middle of looking at our Cryptid Creeks Quickstart. So yeah, I love, what does it say for the alt text there? An embroidered patch showing a living hand, shaking with a ghostly hand with a scout's sash draped over the both wrists. Nice. That's really cute. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, it went quite well. Excellent. I'm glad to hear. And then we've got another play example here. Alright, moves. So, there are 3 types of moves in Cryptid Creeks. I love the different textures. Really good. We have basic moves, playbook moves, and custom moves. This chapter focuses on the 6 basic moves: the Scout move, Eldritch move, the Snoop move, the Crew move, and the Hilda move, and Answer Question. These are references in this chapter to phases of the game, such as the River phase. Oh, there are references in this chapter to the phases of the game, such as River phase and Investigation phase. See the episode structure on page 54. Embroidered patch showing a scout punching the air in celebration. That's so cute. When you do something risky or face something you fear, name what you're afraid of will happen if you fail or lose your nerve, and then roll with the appropriate ability. On a mixed success of 7 to 9, the navigator describes how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and then you choose whether to back down or continue. If you continue on, the navigator describes how it plays out. On a 10+, you achieve what you intended or hold your nerve, describe how it plays out. And on a triumph, as above, and the navigator will tell you some extra benefit or advantage you receive, describe how it plays out. The Scout move is used when scouts take risks or face something scary and another move isn't more suitable. The navigator gets final say on which ability is used for the role. Nice. And then we've got some examples there as well. An actual example where it gives you the different successes as well. That's really nice. I quite like that. I've got to go now. Thanks for the chill and informative stream. Oh, no worries. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you for coming. I hope you're well. Okay. Badge. Again, I love how it does literally look like it's like a woven or sewn patch. Or an embroidered patch, that's what I was meant to say. An embroidered patch depicting a black ooze with white eyes wrapped around an open hand. So the Eldritch move. So whenever you do something dangerous or face something supernatural, name what you're afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve. The navigator will tell you how it's worse than you fear. I love that. You can choose whether to back down or continue on. If you continue on, roll with the appropriate ability. On a mixed success, 7 to 9, you achieve what you intended or hold your nerve, but there is a complication or cost. The Navigator describes how it plays out. On a 10 plus, you achieve what you intended or hold your nerve. Describe how it plays out. And on a triumph, so 12 and above, sorry. And the navigator will tell you some extra benefit or advantage you receive and describe how that plays out. This move is used when scouts take extreme risks or face something of a supernatural nature. In Cryptid Creeks, scouts will often encounter, this word always gets me, malevolent, I have to always think about it, horrors associated with curses, and so the Eldritch move is written to have more perilous outcomes for the crew than the scout move. As always, the navigator has final say over which ability is used for the role. And then we've got another example. I really like this as a way of like, that's the move, here's an example, and then it takes up a full page, but I like that as well, especially if it's showing the different things the different levels of success. Appreciate that. Alright. An embroidered patch of a magnifying glass with a question mark over a three-toed footprint. The snoop move. When you search for a clue, conduct research, or otherwise gather information, describe your actions and roll with the appropriate ability. On a mixed success 7 to 9, you succeed in finding something. However, there is a complication, either with the clue itself or encountered while searching. The navigator will describe the complication. On a 10 plus, you discover a clue. The navigator describes what you find, and on a triumph, it is above, but you also find an eldritch insight. Oh, so that must be like the overarching thing that's going on. I like that. So this is the main way scouts turn up clues, and is the most frequently triggered move in the game. The snoop move is written to cover all types of information gathered, and the ability to use for the role should match whatever action is taken. In rarer instances, it can turn up eldritch insights, unique clues related to the peddler's revenge, the final game. What I like as well, so far, that those 3 moves that we've got, it just goes roll with the appropriate ability, rather than, I know in some Powered by the Apocalypse games, it's always, you roll with this ability, so you might as a player might have a really cool idea, but it doesn't necessarily reflect what you have on the page, and so you might not want to go and use that move. Like, I'm really bad at charm or smooth, so I don't want to speak, I don't want to do anything. So this system feels very, very flexible as a result. And yeah, I mean, obviously for me, I'd be like, I am really bad at smooth, I'm very bad at charming people, but the only way I'm going to get this information is by having a go. So I much prefer that at being open to it, rather than going, it requires me to be charming. I won't make that move. So that's just a thought. Example. Oh my god, that is a cute patch. Embroidered patch of an anchor with a heart etched on its base. I really hope you guys do think about getting patches because they are quite cute. I would, again, this is when I think about, like, if I was doing this in person, if I was running this game in person, I would absolutely love this as a, you've leveled up or you gain like a token of some sort and then give out patches. I would absolutely love that. I think anything like an artifact or like a prop in some way, I just love that sort of stuff when you're playing games because it feels so real as a result. So, the crew move. Whilst travelling between curses, when you and at least one other scout shares a touching moment or discuss some personal history, you can clear an appropriate misfortune. So these are the conditions, okay. Then, stumble on a clue. Scouts in the scene should tell the navigator what the clue is and how they came upon it. The clue cannot conclusively answer a question by itself. So this is, again, comparing it to the Brindlewood Bay, if you've read that, this is the example of the cozy move as well. Alternatively, while alone, you may admire the stunning scenery of the waterways to clear an appropriate misfortune. Oh, I like that as well. Because the cozy move, certainly in Brindlewood Bay, and I can't remember what it is in the between as well, but carved from Brindlewood, it always it's supposed to encourage like role play between people. If you've got an odd number of players or something like that, or someone goes, I just want to just do something and do like a sort of mini character moment by themselves. I think this is a really nice way of doing it. Really love that. Oh, sorry, it was what did I miss? You've not missed much, JC Darcy. I'm just admiring these embroidered in patches that aren't for sale, and we're still going through the moves, so you haven't missed anything. I hope everything's all right. This move serves as the mechanical purpose of clearing misfortunes and or revealing clues. This mainly used to show the relationship and bonds between the scouts. So yes, the same thing with the cozy move, etc. As heavily featured in the coming of age genre. Whilst the manual discourages scouts from traveling alone for safety reasons, a player may choose to ignore this by having a scout pursue a riskier approach to investigation. Well, I hadn't even considered that. But I like that idea of like that again. It goes, I'm going off by my own. I gotta solve this for my friends. They don't believe in me. They're so good, right? Merch opportunity missed. I don't think so. Maybe when they do another setting book, you know, like how Inspire Isles and Over Isles and Under Isles, they're all part of the same thing. Maybe in future. Or just not taken yet. Maybe. Hello, D20 Future Show. How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing? You're all ready for UK Games Expo? Because I know you're heading over there as well. And I've got another example. Nice. And then we've got the Hilda move. Once per curse, when any scout says, "This reminds me of one of Hilda's stories," work with the other players to describe how something that happened in the current scene reminds the crew of a moment from one of Hilda's stories. At a minimum, you must provide the problem or situation Hilda faced that is similar to what the scouts are experiencing, how Hilda eventually overcame the problem or resolved the situation, and treat the next roll made when acting on this information as an automatic triumph, or state a fact about the current scene that the navigator must incorporate. I love this move. Again, I know I keep going back to Brindlewood Bay, so apologies, but this is very similar to like, this is what the author of our books does, and then you have to name the book, describe what happens, and then how they overcome it and how it relates to the scene. I really love it. Evening, not too bad. Ready-ish. I really should read Tad the Adventure. Adventure. Oh, you running stuff here? You doing some RPG stuff? Amazing. Love this move. Absolutely freewheeling storytelling mode for the PCs. I know. I love this as well. Again, what I like is that it's not. You could choose either or. Like either we succeed on a mechanical thing, or we just state a fact about the current scene, like a flashlight does have working batteries or something like that. So, reread. Yeah, that's fine. I was like, read Tad? What's that? Reread the adventure I'm running. That's awesome. What are you running, Rich? What are you doing? Is it like is it the Oh, is it for a live show even? I realised because there's a lot more live shows going on this year. Is that what it's for, or is it? It's not Jason Statham, because you only do that at the Dragon Meet. You're not flouting your things. Running the Expanse for Games on Demand on Sunday. Phew. I was going to say, Rich, I was like, are you abandoning Dragon Meet? Anyway, growing up, the scouts were regularly subjected to Hilda Buckle's outlandish stories, and only now do they realise the truth behind them. This move is very powerful and should only be used once total per curse. I love this little patch here, it's cute. An embroidered patch with a portrait of a smiling elderly woman, Hilda Buckle, wearing glasses and pink earrings. Adorable. I'd run Jason Statham anywhere, anyway. And another example. Again, I'm not going to read out the examples because again, you guys are fine out. But I love how they're dedicated. I love actually the little patches. It's like sort of little patch for this particular one. I like it. Answer a question. So this move is only available in the investigations phase. Scouts must have gathered enough clues equal to at least half the question's complexity. How are we doing? Got about an hour in. Okay. So when you have an open, freewheeling discussion about the answer to a question and reach a consensus, roll plus the number of clues incorporated into the answer or otherwise explain away, minus the question's complexity. Now, I appreciate those people looking at the first time are probably going, absolutely what? But this is part of the phase. This is one part of the structure thing. So again, what I would suggest for this is reading through the structure of later on in the chapter. It goes through the structure about how the game, different phases. The investigation phase is probably one after the main game phase, and then that's when you discuss things. So it sounds like incorporating the clues and stuff. Like, it does feel like Brindlewood Bay in a sense. Like the mysteries don't necessarily have an end. Like, oh, this is a bad thing that's happening to our things. That person's definitely the cause of it all. So that's interesting. And yeah, if you incorporate enough of your clues into the thing, it will take it away from the complexity of this scenario, and then that's I'm going to get this right. Yeah, so it's plus. So you roll 2d6 plus the number of clues you've incorporated, but that's minus the question's complexity. So say if you said, I've found 7 clues, we've used them all in our explanation, our answering questions, and the complexity is 5. 5 away from 7 is 2. So it's plus 2 to the roll. So I quite like that. So on a miss, your answer is incorrect and the navigator reacts. On a hit, your answer is correct and an opportunity can be pursued. On a mixed result, the same as above, but the navigator will add an unwelcome complication to the answer, or pursuing the opportunity will be more dangerous. But then on the triumph, the peddler makes an appearance while you're pursuing an opportunity. That bloody peddler, honestly. This patch, gorgeous. An embroidered patch showing a broken stop. The navigator will regularly introduce curses to the story, and it is up to the scouts not only to discover ways to break them, but contend with the obstacles and dangers associated with their spread. First, they gather clues and then use those clues to answer a question about the curse, which is then unlocks opportunities to break the curse. So that's the structure that it's going for. I like that. I really like that. It's like, you never in doubt every session. You know that you have to be like, okay, this curse, we've got enough clues, and then there's 2 more curses that are on the way, but we'll be fine. And it's I like that structure of like, get the clues, find out more about the curse, and then we use the opportunity to break the curse. Right, like that. For example, here you go. Importantly, there is no canonical answers to the questions. Players are expected to use their clues to formulate an answer of their own, to theorize, if you will, and roll the dice to see if they are correct. I love that. Again, I would say it's quite scary to do if you're doing it for the first time. And maybe people are a bit worried about like coming across as like, I've solved the whole thing. But honestly, it's one of my favorite things about Carved from Brindlewood Bay is people coming up with their own stories about what they think happened. Love the progression element of this. Answer enough questions to move on and be able to solve it. Yeah, absolutely. And it means that you could run the same question scenario several times for different groups, and each one of them is going to be different each time. And so it makes it a really unique experience. I love that. And it's just so different to, like, because it's like it talks about that input before we had from the players. That idea of like, depending on how much creative input you want from the players or not, again, as a session 0 type thing, I would suggest. But honestly, the creativity of being able to solve a question scenario with your own theory, it's great. Love replay value. Exactly. All right, playbook elements. So I will say, I do have it here. We've got the playbooks. I'll zoom out a little bit with this one. So these are the examples of the playbooks. I think we've got 3 in total. Where we've got the complete noster then, the athletic, the athlete even, the medic, the bookworm, and there's some reference sheets as well. Which is, look at that, how cute is that? I like that as well. So yeah, print them out, and then notes are as well, which is great. And also, as you can probably see on my screen, they are form fillable, which is great. It's nice to have 3 different playbooks to go with as well, and very different as well. And, it's actually, we'll look at it in a second. I just wanted to show you this so you can get this with the Quickstart as well. And they're form fillable. Not a lot of Quickstarts have separate character sheets or character trackers from the PDF, and even if they do, they're often not form fillable. So another tick on the accessibility tracker there, my friends. Playbook elements. So the character sheets in Cryptid Creeks are known as playbooks and are largely based on archetypes found throughout the media we're inspired by. Think of the teams from the Goonies, Stranger Things, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Each members of the group feels distinct and fulfills a role essential to their success and survival. The following chapter details briefly each element of the playbook and is addressed to the players. That's nice, so you could just give this out to the players if they're not so sure as well. And you can download all the playbooks from their website, which is it's linked. Amazing. That's good. So we've got name here. Oh, I love the little icons. Aren't they cute? They're little drawings. This feels good. We've got the name. Obviously choose the name and pronouns. This could also be a nickname, but try to make it endearing rather than offensive. Good shout. Style. Style here. Think of a style for your scout. This should reflect their overall appearance, mannerisms, outlook on life, and any other details to make them stand out. So normally in Carved from Brindlewood Bay, they often have examples of what that is. I like for this, it's like, because it's just a way to get into the vibe of it. I think here it makes sense not to have suggestions, but it would be quite nice to have just quick, like, random examples. End of episode questions. So end of episode questions represent your role-playing goals for the episode. By answering yes to any marked questions will allow you to fill your XP track. The first 2 questions are permanently marked, and 2 others of your choice are also marked, for a total of 4 at any one time. At the beginning of a new episode, you can unmark your chosen questions and mark different ones, or leave either or both the same. The permanent question, did you use your weakest ability to resolve a move, applies to any ability with the lowest modifier. Oh, I like that. Let's see. Where are those? End of episode questions. Here they are. Nice. So here for the athlete, we've got, did you push yourself physically? Did you pick up an injury, however minor? Do you receive praise for your actions? Did you allow another scout to take the lead? Did you manage to restrain yourself in this situation? Oh, I like those. Nice ones there. So yeah, that's how you get. Yeah, I like the fonts from this as well. Sorry, XP track. So that's here. Extra advancements, I'm guessing. When all 6 boxes on the XP track are marked, they can be raised and you earn an advancement. When advancements are earned, their effects are immediately applied to a playbook. Once all the advancements are taken, your scout cannot progress further. This doesn't mean they will suddenly rise to godhood, like in other RPGs, but simply that they are just peaked in as an effective member of the crew. We've got increasing an ability modifier by 1, got that 3 times. Choose an additional playbook move twice. Write a custom move for your character. Ooh. And then unmark all items of the collection. So yeah, they're the same. Yeah, I'm guessing they're going to be the same for every playbook, actually. Yes, they are. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I'm late. Train issues. Hello, Hatchling. Do not worry, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. We're just singing your praises, so your ears must be burning straight from the train. But I hope you're doing well, my friend, and I hope you've recovered from MCM and you're looking forward to UK Games Expo. Just going through it. We're about halfway through our time here, so just nice to have you here, though. Ability. So abilities represent your scout's attributes applied to most dice rolls in the game. After choosing a playbook, add 1 to a single ability to update the modifier. So here you go, they go here. Again, what I like about having a horizontal sheet as well, all the important stuff that you need straight away, they're all on the left-hand side. Now, I know that's obviously, like, again, Western culture, everything's on the left, etc. But instantly, I'm like, I could fold this into 3, I'm guessing. Yeah. You've done it almost like a... Sorry. Ooh. Yeah, so you can fold it almost like a leaflet, which I think that's quite cute. And yeah, you just have all that information of all the stuff you need to play just down there in front of you. And everything else, you can look over the side of it. Oh, nice. Thank you. Aww. Misfortunes. Misfortunes are negative effects placed on your scout by the navigator. If a misfortune would realistically hamper your scout's action, you would roll at disadvantage. You can carry up to 3 misfortunes, and if you would take a 4th, you'd mark a sash instead. See below. Misfortunes can be cleared by using moves or if the navigator feels it's justified. For example, if a scout treats a minor injury at the clinic, the navigator might remove the misfortune of concussion. Yep, so you can see them here as well. Watcher's Gift. Functioning the same as playbook moves, all scouts begin the game with a Watcher's Gift, giving them a supernatural edge during their investigations. Okay, so this is on the back page. There we go. Ooh. Oh, and it's different for each one. I like that. So for the athlete beast mode, you feel the Watcher's power coursing through you, strengthening your muscles and heightening your senses, but it's unstable. During the beginning of the episode, choose 2 perks and 1 setback. These will last at the end of the episode. Okay, so we've got 4 here. Gain an advantage on a future roll that uses athletic. Can be chosen more than once. Okay. You increase your attuned by 1. You clear 1 physical misfortune, and you can do 1 thing that is beyond human limitations. Ah! But then setbacks. You can accidentally frighten or intimidate someone you care about. You draw the attention of an active curse or tendril. Ooh. The navigator's choice. Gain a misfortune of marked by and whatever it is. Scary. You manifest a noticeable trait of the Watcher. Describe it. Your body can't tolerate the power. Describe what happens when describe what this looks like and gain the misfortune of sapped. This cannot be chosen again if you already have sapped. Ooh, I like that. And then we've got playbook moves. These are specific to your chosen scouts, and they make them feel distinct. They're always thematically tied to the character, and will often only work when certain conditions are met. After choosing a playbook, pick 1 playbook move to start with in addition to your Watcher's Gift. So we've got here, we've got 5, haven't we? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gym rats. You're always trying to sneak in a quick workout whenever you're at the clubhouse. You just open the door, it's like, Tim, we're having a meeting. just just one more set. Once per episode, when taking any action that rolls with athletic, you may describe how you utilize your disciplined nature to dig deep and succeed. Gain the misfortune, feel the burn, and treat the result of the action as if you'd rolled a triumph. Additionally, add the following to your clubhouse collection: a well-stocked gym bag, resistant bands, free weights, yoga mat, and pull-up bar. To be fair, yeah, I always thought gym mat. Actually, yoga or Pilates, amazing. We're about to start. I'm just finishing my what was it called? Combat fitness. You've got it on your iPhone. Nice. Again, I love the little decorations and stuff there. That looks like washi tape in a way, right? Love that. Okay, lifting the spirit sash. So each scout carries a sash belonging to a clubhouse ghost. Whenever you decide to lift the spirit sash, or your scout would take a fourth misfortune, you mark a box on your playbook next to the Sash of Ages, Sash of Endings. Before the current episode concludes, you must complete whatever the text is beside the marked box instructs. So again, yes, from that card from Brindlewood Bay, again, the masks is what I'm thinking of from the Between, but also the crowns from Brindlewood Bay. I love this. It's a really cool little role-play look. So when worn, the Sash of Ages invokes memories of your character before they join their crew. These life moments should feel nostalgic and wholesome, and they can be marked in any order. When worn, the Sash of Endings burdens the wearer with dark visions. These entries must be marked in order and always ends with your scout retiring from the crew. Note that players can retire their scout at any point without waiting for the final sash to be marked. Let's have a look, see what we have. I do like this. It's kind of meant to resemble a scrapbook, inspired by Hilda's Sparrow Scout Badge Guide. Oh, that's super cute. I love that. Sort of the layouts of it. That's awesome. Yeah, we definitely had that from before. I love these little icons as well. They're super cute. With your play examples as well, Rich. Like the little sort of like stuck in like notes and little patches and stuff. Really like those. So let's have a look at this playbook. I'm going to take some water. Let's have a quick. The Sash of Ages for the athlete. For the ages, we've got you broke an inanimate object in frustration, showing how you had to care for your family, and to an important game, showing the moment you lost. Oh, brutal. Look, I love that. Showing a time you confronted a bully and came away worse off. The first time you earned the admiration of a crowd. A time when you attempted something truly dangerous. A flashback showing your first experience of the supernatural. Whoa. And then a Sash of Ending, so this has to be in order. End of Ends and Tears. This dinghy is half sunk beside the clubhouse jetty, its hull slippery with algae. After this vision, you feel a profound uncertainty. You can't remember why. The next time you're asked to narrate a clubhouse montage, make the scene feel distant and indistinct. Sacrifice. I don't want to spoil them too much. So sad this character's now retired. But I like that. I like having it. Yeah, you have 5 goes at this before you retire your character. Love that. It feels very thematic as well. The Clubhouse Collection. So this section of the playbook represents a space in the clubhouse that can be filled with useful items light enough to carry. Items can be used to tackle curses and are marked to give you an advantage on the dice roll. Once marked, they can no longer be used to gain an advantage, but remain with the scouts to provide narrative flavour. Before the start of the pilot episode, everyone will have an opportunity to add items to the Clubhouse Collection. After that, they can be gained through moves, as curse rewards, or when the navigator feels it's justified. There you go. So that's the main sort of mechanics. We've got some playbook options here. First of all, obviously we've got to look at the alt text. I was saying, Rich, before you arrived, I was like, oh, alt text! I got very excited. Also, I love how different all these teens are and how colourful and bright it is. It's so gorgeous. For 14 sitting, eating at a restaurant booth whilst Hilda stands beside it, gesturing as she tells a story. Behind them, an image of a plesiosaur, never say those words, soars in a wispy clouds. Love it. Oh, so good. So explores the playbooks available from the starter game. So the athlete, medic, and the bookworm are available in this Quickstart. While we've got the musician, the sailor, and the misfit reserved for full release. The final game will also feature a new kid, a playbook that can be fully customized. Amazing. Okay, cool. Well, we won't look at it too much. So again, we'll do a little bit actually. The athlete and stuff. We'll look at the athletes. We've been looking at that much, but then we'll look in their own time. Yeah, Chris has done us proud with accessibility. Yeah, no, I was going to say you're really top notch. I very much appreciate that. Oh, hello, Fancy Alice. I was like, oh no, is that a peddler's thing? Are you gonna come up? Yeah. Come on. There we go. You can't see her, but she's here also looking at Chris. So, the athlete. So forever picked as a team captain. I know that feeling. Despite their own feelings, the athlete strives to protect their friends and family, whatever the personal cost. They find injustice difficult to ignore and often jumping in without a second thought. This has landed them in hot water countless times, but to them, bruises and detentions are merely trophies for their cabinets. They perform best with a crowd to cheer them on and desire nothing more than a fair fight to decide the fate of the forefoot. Play the athlete for their spontaneity, physical prowess, and ability to defend others. So yeah, I like having been like, hey, if you like the sound of this, play this playbook. I really like it. Oh yeah, I never got touchstones. Oh, amazing. Steve Harrington's Stranger Things, of course. Ripley from Lumberjanes. Lumberjanes is a cracking comic. Fantastic. Stand By Me with Chris Chambers. Bar Mulan. Mikey, the Goonies. Oh, nice. So I appreciate a nice range of different media from across several decades. Very much appreciate it. And also, yeah, different genres as well. I really like that. And then you go into it. You break down. Oh, that's quite cool. You actually break down the playbook moves as a little summary there. So we've got the 5 playbook moves. So Lionheart, resist misfortune by shrugging off self-doubt to push ahead. Go Wild Paws, call upon Shingleford's leading varsity team for assistance. Amazing. Are you not entertained, excelled in your actions if witnessed by a crowd? Gym Rat, we talked about briefly, and Unbeatable, Unbreakable. Push against the forces that try to bring you down. I like that. But of course, look at this amazing image here. The image of a scout in athletic wear standing in front of a mystery board covered in clues. His left hand impacting the board as he adds something to it. His right arm has been amputated above the elbow. What great representation here. And it's just simple, not making a big deal about it. I'm a big fan. I'm not going to go into my Doctor Who rant just now, but I'm a big fan of having representation and diversity, but it's not the plot of the story. They're not, they're not the sort of the character. The only way it could have worked is because they're this, and that's the reason they saved the day. They just saved the day because they are who they are, and that's fine. And I just love this sort of representation. And again, stickers. Let's have some stickers. I was saying before, Rich, the beautiful. I'm going to go back to it because I think they're great. These patches, they're great. Have you considered having embroidered patches at some point? Because I do think they're really good, and they're so wholesome as well. I was saying how much I admired them and how embroidered stuff on it looks really good on the page, certainly on the PDF. I'm sure they'll look even better on the printed version. And then we've got the medic. God, how beautiful. Their fridge at home is plastered with faded school certificates for star volunteer and helping others. They are the peacemaker amongst their friends, or their group of friends, and always try to avoid conflict where they can. Though their empathy can at times be taken for granted, underneath they have a strength that can push through even the toughest of situations. They hate curses for tearing the community apart and determined to help however they can. They play the medic for their curiosity, compassion, and ability to heal others. Yes, they'll be coming along with prints, stickers, and maps. Thank you. I will definitely. Well, I'll see you at Dragonmeet. I'll be like, here's my money. Thank you. But we have touchstones here. We've got Hiccup, Samwise Gamgee, Rapunzel, Joe. Yeah, from David. Oh yes, David from Hilda. Amazing. I love that. Playbook moves and move on. Just aware of time as well. The bookworm. Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot. I'm so sorry. Let's do the alt text. A scout with long curly hair packs a lunchbox filled with medical supplies. I want a coat like that. That looks delightful. I just like these little details at the bottom here. Again, it's little details, but like such a nice little. It looks like almost like a printed stamp. So good. Right. The bookworm. So always with their nose in a text, the bookworm is hoping to start their own heroic story with the crew. Quiet and occasionally aloof, they can read people as easily as literature. Whilst they are of little use in social situations, find them afterwards for detailed notes on everyone present. There's a skill. I took notes. They break curses if it means seeing their name immortalized in a page. Play the bookworm for their intellect, thoroughness, and the ability to analyze others. An image of a scout wearing a lanyard with scout patches sewn into it. Oh yeah, that's sweet. They are surrounded by several open books and taking notes in a small spiral-bound notebook. We've got Frida, Nancy Wheeler, Matilda, Willow, Cloud Baudelaire, of course. Yeah. So yeah, again, I like these touchstones. They're so I'm like, oh yeah, I've read all of this media. But it's nice. Again, it's different kinds of genres and it's spread out over different decades and eras as well. Episode structure. We're doing all right, aren't we? All right, fine. So the structure aims to facilitate cinematic storytelling by presenting 4 distinct phases of play and outlining when and how certain elements of the game should occur. Phases aren't bound to any time frame, and the story should move fluidly between them. The following structure applies to all episodes following the pilot, which is explored in detail later on in the book. Episodes should begin at the clubhouse whenever possible, but if that's not an option, skip to the clubhouse montage step at the beginning of the episode. All right. Excuse me. Okay, so the beginning of the episode phase. So a brief phase where everyone marks the new end of episode questions, which we see here on the front page of your sheets. Any playbook moves that trigger during the beginning of the episode are now resolved. We then do a recap. Curses not broken by the end of an episode are carried over. The navigator will inform the group of how these unresolved curses may have progressed. They also remind players of the clues they have discovered and the misfortunes their scouts carry, so always a good recap. Right, have to shoot off and start my own stream shortly. Maybe catch you on the weekend. That's very kind of you, Rich. Unfortunately, I am not in the UK anymore. I have moved to Iowa. But I hope you have a wonderful time in the UK Games Expo. It would be a very hard way for me to come, unfortunately. But I'll probably see you at Dragon Meet for sure. Have a wonderful time, and yet, best of luck with the stream. So that is the clubhouse. That is a recap. Sorry, and then the clubhouse montage. Do a montage. The old building preserves the legacy of the River Scouts. To honour this, each player will describe a montage taking place in the clubhouse. A montage is a collection of separate images, moving or still, stitched together to create a seamless sequence. Players should try to think of their own prompts for the montage, but to get them started, here's a few ideas. Oh, wonderful. I love examples like this. Ah, boo. Then maybe I won't catch you this weekend. I will say, probability very, very, very low, unless I come to you in some sort of like ghostly apparition dream of like, ooh, make sure you've submitted your things for Dragon Meet when it comes out. Oh, have a good one then. So we've got describing maintaining the clubhouse, preparing the boat for launch, fishing from the jetty, describe the Watcher shaking the clubhouse as they snore, the Eries playing pranks, and describe the clubhouse ghost puzzling over modern technology. Nice. A nice little group there. And an example. And then the next stage, the navigator introduces a new curse. If there are less than 3 curses in play, the navigator may introduce a new one. If juggling multiple curses simultaneously is proving too much of a challenge, consider presenting one at a time. I agree with this. I think sometimes I really like that I really enjoy stuff like Between and Brindlewood Bay, where you can have several mysteries on that go at the same time, but you don't have to, and it can be overwhelming, perhaps, certainly to new navigators. So I like the idea of that. Don't worry about it. It's there if you need it. Then we go to the investigation phase. So a bulk of the episode is dedicated to the crew's investigations. After a curse has been presented by the Watcher, the scouts will set out to discover clues and gather enough to answer a question and unlock an opportunity to hinder or break a curse. Gathering clues can involve any sort of information gathering, side characters, pouring through documents, searching for locations for evidence, and so on. The investigation phase should feel open-ended, with the scouts affording time to use move, take actions that fulfill end-of-episode questions, and simply enjoy exploring. There may also be dangers to overcome. If not from the curse, then the peddler himself. the peddler. This element of the game is important. Scouts should always feel like they are the last thing standing between the peddler and his ambitions. If the players aren't challenged, they will quickly lose interest. Then we go on to the river phase. The river phase depicts the scouts travelling between curses by boat. It's a chance to expand and enliven the setting of Clawfoot, to explore the malevolent eldritch roots of the region, to show the connection between to show the connection the scouts have with their home, and to encourage wholesome moments via the crew move. Nice. Very Swallows and Amazons, isn't it? The clubhouse should always be located somewhere by the river north of Shingleford. That way, even if the scouts are heading to town for clues, they can still participate in the river phase. The river phase is triggered when at least one scout travels the waterways, and the purpose of this is to memorialize locations by filling out the Clawfoot map, as we spoke about before, to illustrate the setting and the eldritch roots, to have the scouts share touching or vulnerable moments. This all happens through riverbank stops, unique and standalone scenes that provide a contrast to the crew's fraught investigation. Each riverbank stop has 3 prompts. So you paint the scene, which is to describe the world on the surface, darken the scene, to describe the world beneath the surface, to recall a memory, to narrate a personal flashback. Some riverbank stops can only be visited once, whilst others involve repeat visits to the same location. Oh, I like this. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of like painting the scene and adding something. And again, something I take from improv as well. I love being able to paint the scene, and certainly online, I can write things down and then interact with them. And someone goes, "Oh, that's really cool." And then being able to paint a scene on stage, I think it's very difficult thing to do. And then if people like pick it up and remember things, like remember where objects is or where windows are, people go, "Oh!" It feels like they've listened and they've learnt and they've made the scene their own. I'm a big fan of that. Darken the scene, describe the world beneath it. I like that. That sounds interesting. And recall a memory. Before you continue, take a look at the river stops and read through the Riverside Diners. This is that example that we've got here. So how does it work? During the river phase, the navigator will introduce a riverbank stop and share paint scene prompts with the group. Dark and scene prompts can only be answered once. Can only be answered once the Eldritch Blight layer of the Peddler's Revenge has been unlocked. The final game only. Absolutely not. I don't like the Peddler. I love what you've done with him, Rich. But everyone's like, "Oh, we can fix him in the chat," and I was like, "Absolutely not." Once the players can have answered any prompts, they can initiate the crew move with other scouts, in turn clearing misfortunes and discovering clues. If travelling alone, scouts can clear a misfortune by letting go of their troubles, describing the scenery. If discussing their past during the crew move, players may use a memory prompt for inspiration, but they can talk about anything they want. Riverbank stops are an opportunity to see another side of the scouts as they take a break from the pressing responsibilities of the investigation. They might be competitively skimming stones or having a private conversation whilst others fix the leak in the boat. Once all the prompts are answered and any crew moves are resolved, the river phase ends and the navigator transitions the group into the investigation phase. Each river siege should take approximately 15 minutes. I like that as a way to sort of reset and then come back to the investigation. There's like, it could be not intense, but like investigation and a breather. Investigation and a breather. Note that it's possible for some scouts to be in investigation phase at the same time that others are in river phase. This will happen when one or more scouts stays behind to tackle one curse whilst the others are moving to a different curse. When this happens, only the scouts who are actually travelling to a different curse can participate in the crew. Yes, that makes sense. However, all players may answer the prompts that are a part of the river stop, regardless of the scout's location. Oh, that's quite nice. I quite like that. Everyone's still involved. They just can't take part in the crew. That makes sense. The characters should hate him, the players should adore him. Fine. I mean, to be fair, like as we were saying before, like it's the way you've set up the villain, Rich, makes us think of like, yeah, it's a villain I would love to play as a navigator for sure. But I'm just people going there like, I should fix him. I'm like, no, no, let me create chaos with my trinkets. Collaborative role playing. Riverbank stops provide an opportunity to explore the coming of age genre at the heart of and the prompts allow players to see the world from their scout's point of view. In many RPGs, the game master, so our navigator, would have the lion's share of creative control and dictate how the setting feels. Riverbank stops give players the authority to describe the surroundings and and make Clawfoot supernatural elements unique to theirs. Amazing. I like that. And what a nice little paragraph just to summarize, like, hey, it's a, this is how it stands out from other role-playing games. And I think, like I said, when I've done a few cards from Brindlewood Bay games before, and what I like about it is that ability to contribute at certain points and be able to add something to it. I know when I was playing with other people, sometimes it took a moment for them to get used to it, but it's basically improv. As soon as you you go, oh, and you can let it out. It's just such a change. It's so refreshing as a system, as a result. And so yeah, I absolutely love this idea of, like, again, just establishing beforehand that expectation of, like, how much collaborative role playing is going to be, and then when there are times for it, when you've got these riverbank stops, being able to contribute to it really makes the game its own. And along with that whole thing about being able to fill in the Clawfoot map, your areas, making it special to you. And again, with Carve of Brindlewood Bay, that idea of those systems and this system as well, being able to, like, replay those scenarios with the questions and stuff for different groups and get different answers and responses each time. Just love that. So end of episode phase. Collect rewards. So each curse comes with a list of rewards that the scouts can claim if they break a curse. Each player chooses a single reward, marking it off as they do. Rewards cannot be shared unless there are multiple available. Sash scenes. Whenever a box is marked next to a sash, so this is here. Yep. The players must do as the company text instructs them before the current episode ends. So this is the thing as well. From what I know from these sort of flashbacks and here as well, they can take place as soon as if you marked it, or you can take place towards the end of the episode. You don't have to worry about getting it right ASAP. Like, you don't have to worry about, like, improvise now. For me, I always try and do it straight away, because then I don't want to think about it too much. But I like having the choice to be able to go, oh, I need to think on this a little bit. I hadn't really considered this. So I much appreciate that. End of an episode's question. So finally, each player reads out their marked end of episode questions aloud and gains XP for any that they answer yes to. So yeah, we've got that here. Very good. During this phase, the players may also choose advancements and update their playbook. And then s'mores and dreams. Before the group scatters, the players should let the Before the group scatters, players should let the navigator know what they've particularly enjoyed and what they'd like to see more of. This is meant to be a collaborative process involving informing the navigator which parts to lean into for future episodes. See this more in the pilot episode. I love that. Again, this is more of a more thematic take on maybe stars and wishes, perhaps. That's great. I like the fact that it's built into the system, because often we don't do that. We don't talk about that as well. And presumably as well with the pilot episode as well, the sort of expectations and things that are often dealt with, that is built into there. As I say. Well, first, hang on. I forgot there's an image. A tea kettle boils on a wooden rack over an open campfire. S'mores stick out of the tin mugs and rest on nearby stones. How gorgeous is that? This image says, a ghostly plesiosaur floats over the choppy waters of a rolling river. Gulls fly in the background, and a dockside town can be seen in the distance. Oh, yes. Gorgeous. I love that, and the waves look so beautiful as well. Alright. Got about 15 minutes left. I'm just going to go back up to the top. And I want to just see the checks. Because I want to make sure, because again, we're not going to finish this, as I said at the beginning, we're not going to finish it. But I do want to see... Ooh, I'm through quite a bit. I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to skip over the navigator basics. I'm going to go to cursors, because I want to see as an example of this. I think that'll be useful, I think, for people to see. But yeah, obviously, go look at it in your own time as well. And then the pilot episode, we're not going to go through the structure of personally, but I'm sure, again, and they've got tools as well. So we've got plenty of things going, but I want to look at cursors, and maybe if we've got time, we'll look at the riverbank stops. But I'm really interested to see how this sort of setting works. So just thought I'd just say that just now. All right, let's go to cursors. Oh, look at that. Look at that box. The curses. The Quickstart contains 2 curses, the Traditionalist Curse and the Cold Steel Curse. If you want additional locations and towns, feel free to use pre-written entries in the Navigator's Tools chapter. So there's plenty of examples. This image, I love it. An open suitcase reveals an overflowing collection of trinkets, including stuffed animals, marbles, playing cards, silverware, ink pens, cassettes, and more. Inky black tendrils wrap out and around these items. I love that. Oh. Again, I was saying before, like, I know obviously it's much darker, that what I'm thinking of, like that needful things element. I love such a so yeah, really love the look of it there. So, the traditionalist curse. Ooh, I've got stuff to read out. Okay. My intrepid scouts, the Eries have come with saddening news. Someone entrusted to fill your schools with light, happiness, and learning has been gifted a trinket by the peddler. Her name is Miss Shirley Isbell, and she is the principal of Shallowbrook Elementary. Already rooted in her old and inefficient ways, the trinket feeds on this stubbornness and emboldens her with even more ambition and determination than usual. Beyond imbuing her with some of its eldritch powers, the trinket also causes those exposed to it to agree any of Shirley's ideas. And I love this with all this. So you pose like a question so that instantly, what's the hook? So pose the following to the scout with the highest smarts, or one of your choosing. So you are familiar with Miss Isbat. She successfully stood up with the student council last year to oppose her attempt at overturning a ruling that protected a student right. What was it? How did you convince the school board to keep the ruling? I have asked the Eries to come up with some leads for you all to look into, and they've come back to me with this. The school board is in town for a meeting that is being held at the end of the week in the Shingleford Community Centre next to the public library. Members of the school board are staying in the Resting River bed and breakfast, but since her home is currently being fumigated, Shirley is also staying at the B&B. Pose another question to the scout with the highest attuned. A detail of the story tells you that whatever form it takes, the trinket only has power for as long as Shirley remains principal. What is it? Miss Isbat is very stubborn and set in her ways. She won't be convinced no matter how hard you try. Her skills in managing the administrative duties of public education has prevented the school board from removing her. Yes, I know that feeling. But that must change if the young minds of Clawfoot are to remain safe. You can make your case to the school board at the meeting this week. Ooh. So I see now. So so we can have two different questions that can be answered here. I see. No. Complexity 2 and unlocks the next question. The question. So what form does the trinket take? It unlocks the next question. How can we convince the school board to remove Shirley? And these are the complexities of this. So break the curse by meeting with the school board and convincing them to remove Shirley from power, thus destroying the trinket. Sash of Solidarity. So you have specific sashes for each scenario as well. So we're going to use this. Each scout narrates a flashback to a time they stood up to someone who was being hurt, or stood up for someone being hurt or bullied. Shirley Isbat, the Curse Keeper. Late 60s, frilled green blouse and long socks and high heels. Never leaves home without applying her signature scent, La Parfume de Pied. The principal of Shallowbrook Elementary. Shirley is obsessed with the idea of everything being as it was back in the day. It was this strong need for stagnation that drew the peddler's malevolent gaze. Empowered by her trinket, she's been rallying up the support to roll back several progressive rulings on student rights, and plans to make the next school year a nightmare for anyone who dares goes against the status quo. And we've got a quote. So all of you kids running around about with your phones and taking selfies and playing your little games on Instagram. When I was your age, we had to hire someone to photograph us. We'd play outside and actually talk to each other. Special rules. So a scout who is exposed to Shirley's trinket gains the misfortune of surely she has a point. If the River Scouts ignore Shirley, she will begin growing her network of supporters and make a run for superintendent of Clawfoot schools. Oh no! If she still goes unchecked, she will get the position after exposing the board to her trinket, which will cause them to blindly support anything that Shirley says. Tendrils. Meddling. Shirley will attempt a number of tactics to get in the scout's way. Whilst the curse is active, you will have a new navigator reaction. Have Shirley meddle in the investigation. So use the soft version of a reaction before you use the hard version. This is not exhaustive, but come up with your own to fit the story as needed. So we've got 3 soft. I see. Tattletale, a authority and detention. We've got soft and hard versions of this. Ooh, I like this. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, we've got softened versions of it, of Tattletale, authority, and detention. Oh, I like those as moves. Okay. Hench Manning's the vice principal. Corduroy pants and a light blue button-down shirt. Hair slicked back with far too much gel. Socks and sandals. Oh no, the worst! Mr. Mannings is the vice principal of Shallowbrook Elementary, and a total yes man to Shirley, following her orders without question. Since he really doesn't do much around the school, he can often be found wandering the halls and keeping an eye out for troublemakers. You kids run along. Bleh. You kids run along now. Leave the grown-up stuff to us, okay? Ooh, moments. Oh, I like these. Black and white flyers have been stapled to telephone poles around the town and moshing the school system for coddling our children. A side character gets a phone call from a stern-voiced woman attempting to convince them to sign a petition that would ban students from bringing cell phones to school. An oppressive rainstorm begins as the scouts approach Shallowbrook Elementary. An opossum saves its sibling from a hungry owl. A picket line protesting the changes to unisex bathrooms is disrupted by silly string and confetti. An adult breaks up a scuffle between two kids, one clearly older than the other. Someone offers a homeless person a hot meal and a night stay in a hotel. Oh, now we've got locations as well. So let's do this first one. The Shallowbrook Elementary, color-coded corridors, the echo of footsteps in a mostly empty halls. School is out for the summer, but some kids are still here to raise their grades. Let's paint the scene. The bulletin board in the entryway lists a number of strange and archaic rules for students to follow. What are they, and how do the students subtly protest them? Nice. Got loads of locations. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got side characters as well. Sean Willoughby, the summer school teacher. Nettie Fisher, a confident hostess. Rupinder Dawn-Singh, a wise librarian. Tony Mertens, a kindly janitor. Loads of. I like that. They're giving it a little bit of description, quotes, sort of like get them into character. Amazing. Members of the school board. They won't show up for very long, but if they do, keep this in mind. They're all sharply dressed, have a lot of experience with public school systems, and take their jobs very seriously. If you need some names, if you need them. Oh, nice. Yeah, big fan of names. Godfrey Rowlings. Summer students. And then we've got some clues. Ah, okay. So we have records of students' grades declining since Shirley has been principal. Complaints about Shirley made by disgruntled parents. Cruel comments made from Shirley's social media accounts. An incriminating letter in Shirley's handwriting. Rumours of foul play during Shirley's interview process. Footage of Shirley demeaning school staff for their unimportant priorities. A discarded stack of student complaints against Shirley. A torn page of paper, which is a portion of Shirley's handwriting. Oh wow, there's so many. Oh, this is great. Loads of examples there. Eldritch Insight. So this is if you get a really big clue. But a book has been vandalized with drawings of strange geometric symbols. The peddler, just seen out of the corner of a scout's eye. He disappears when they attempt to focus on him. And then we've got some rewards as well. 6 rewards. Here you get Rupinder as a recurring side character. Oh, fabulous. And then we've got the other cursor. Nice. I appreciate it. That's just sort of the breakdown of the scenario. I like that. Again, similar to other cards from Brindlewood Bay, sort of scenarios and stuff like that. But I feel like there's enough stuff to go on. You can really like give an example. Like when they're looking for clues, you're like, okay, here's an example. And then, yeah, I like all this stuff. I'm actually quite excited for this particular one. I'm just like, oh, how would you go against somebody who is set in their ways about the school system? I do like the very subtle. What was it? That subtle one they had moments. A picket line of protesting changes to unisex bathrooms is disrupted by silly string and confetti cans. I like that. Stuff like that, I think is so important. I'm not going to get on my Doctor Who rant. I think there's something about these games where we can explore issues that affect us all around the world, and also affect people that aren't in the room with us. So having something like that, where we can talk about it in the context of this game, I think it's just a way to explore these issues. Again, with everyone's consent, obviously, beforehand. But I saw that and I was like, I like that. I think that's a thing that is being talked about today in today's politics as well. So, and it's subtle. I like that subtlety and bring it in. All right, moving on. We're not going to look through this particular moment, this sort of trinket, the curse. There you go, curses. Yeah, riverside stuff. So yeah, I wanted to just check this out before we finish the stream today. I want to check out these riverbank stops. I want to see what these are like. So a riverside, a riverside diner. Diners dot on the river at regular intervals to welcome the Tranquility Ferry and numerous other boating enthusiasts. Choose a name for this diner or make up one of your own and mark it on cloth. So we've got Cozy Shores Cafe, Rapids Restaurant, Crystal Waters Bistro, Anchor and Enjoy Eatery. I like that one. Mountain View Restaurant, Cove and Cave Cafe. I love the paper effect as well. Paint the scene, so choose one for each player to answer. How has the river been incorporated into the themes and decor? What's on the menu that really catches your eye? What type of music does the radio seem to play on repeat? What do the regular customers talk about with the staff? Recall a memory, so choose one for the group. What restaurant did your family eat at all the time in Shingleford? When was the last time you cooked a meal for people other than yourself? When was what was the first album you bought with your own money? And what's your favourite type of milkshake? Moments. Each time the scouts visit a riverside diner, mark an unmarked box of your choice. We'll get there. Through the window, a kayaker has capsized. Customers quickly wade into the river to help them. Biddies. Behind the diner, forest critters enjoy a meal of their own by rummaging through the bins. A street performer, a usual sight in Shingleford, is entertaining customers despite the manager trying to get them to leave. It has real big energy, real big Edinburgh Fringe energy there. Ooh. You go to pay your tab, but it has been already covered. A neat handwritten note left with a tip. Fill your stomachs before I cut them open. This counts as an eldritch insight. Whoa! That's terrifying. I love that though. Great. And that's it. That's all you get for the riverbank stuff. But I like that. Short, succinct, easy to pick up and make, and probably easy to make your own as well with that simple structure. Whoa, though. I like that last one. Whoa! Love it. And then we've got the pilot episode. Oh my god, that image. Gorgeous. A cosmological diagram divided into 4 quadrants. The top right, stars and a crescent moon. In the bottom right, a full moon with a cloudy sky. In the bottom left, an eclipsed sun surrounded by storms. In the top left, a glowing ring around the eclipse, with lines spiraling inwards as if being pulled towards it. Oh. Love that though. Look at the hand on the outside. But this chapter provides a step-by-step guide for running the pilot episodes to the first session. It should approximately take 2.5 hours, with subsequent episodes taking less time. The italicized are meant to be read aloud to the players. So yeah, we'll have a quick look. Yeah, we're running out of time. Oh, but look at the design of this. Yeah, it really does feel like that scrapbook vibe that you were talking about, Rich. And then we've got the cats and stuff like that. So yeah, one thing I love about Carl from Brindlewood Bay, and obviously we've done it here as well with Cryptid Creeks, is that if you're not sure how you're gonna like read out things to the players for that, just use the script they give you in that pilot episode or in that first episode structure. Just stick to that. You'll have the most fun. And I love how it gives you an example of like approximately how long this should take. We've got 3 minutes here to read out stuff like that and ask questions. Got the tone. And safety tools, hooray for safety tools, we love that. You can use safety tools we've outlined here or outsource your own, such as resources by Kinnan Shaw and Lauren Bryan Monk. This first episode will explore lines of veils, the X card, and the open door policy. Yeah, good. Scout creation should take about 15 minutes. And here you should summarize each of the starting playbooks. Good. Introduce the scouts for 5 minutes. 10. So take 10 minutes once you've done character creation. And then spread the curse. I love that. I've got some examples for what the Watcher is as well. That's awesome. I like that. Yeah, we didn't really describe that before when we were looking at it, but here we go. Gosh, a monster calls though. Ooh, gosh, a great story. I really liked it, but oh god, it made me cry so hard. Oh, Falcor as well, never ending story. Then regular play about 90 minutes. S'more and Dreams, roughly about 13 steps with those sort of things. So yeah, roughly about 2.5 hours with the runtime of the pilot episode, which is great. Yeah, and there you go. That's the main thing. And then we've got some navigator tools at the end. Which again, I love the way it looks. That reminds me of like an old notebook I used to have. So these are key locations. I see. Nice. There you go. Oh, we've got some NPCs as well. There you go. There you go. That was a very quick run through of the Quickstart for Cryptid Creeks. What do we think? I must say, for a Quickstart, you get so much with it, and obviously it's named your own price as well, but you've given so much to start a game and to get people excited. Like I said, like, we've got the beautiful accessibility touchstones of, like, you know, alt text. I think it's one of incredibly easy to read. The size of the text font, I didn't have to zoom in. Very much appreciate that. I liked how it wasn't necessarily double columns. We had great art throughout, and it's spread out. It takes its time, and it really evokes the feeling of it. Obviously, the music, we're listening to the ambient soundtrack just now. You could have music and have that on. The Quickstart also comes with a little streamer's overlay as well, so if you want to run this game, you can have it. So I really like that. I guess my only questions off the top, and Rich, if you're still here, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So in certain Carved by Brindlewood Bay's games, you're only allowed one playbook type within a session. I wonder here, because I assume you could have multiple, like, say, 2 athletes and 1 bookworm, etc. Like, you can double up on playbooks. Obviously, with the Quickstart, you've only given us 3 playbooks. But if you're having, like, a full 6, if you were having the full sort of, like, overlay people, so 5 people, could people double up on playbooks? Like, I assume so. But I just know from other Carved from Brindlewood Bay, they're like, oh, don't do that. But I think you've got enough variety with the playbooks. Like, you can easily make 2 very different, like, athletes, or 2 different medics, etc. So I really like that. I like form fillable character sheets, massive plus. I like that they're separate as well from the Quickstart. Sometimes they're not. Again, massive plus there. I love these reference. Look how cute the reference sheet is. The font is great. I know it's like, oh, the font is great. No, I really like this as well. Yeah, overall, I think really good. You get so much for this Quickstart, so it makes me very excited to see people see the full version as well. So I'm going to put another link to where you can get this particular Quickstart. Please go check it out. Yes, that was the idea. I guess you could use the spare overlay boxes for maps and captions, etc. For the streamers one. Fantastic. Oh, great idea. Great idea. Really like, again, every time I look at the art, I go, oh, I want that as a poster. I was saying at the beginning of the stream, Rich, my dream, now that I'm here, I can put stuff on walls, is to have framed posters of various RPG art around me. But yeah, I love that. And yeah, I think such an eye-catching cover. I love the drawings throughout, all the alt text, like the embroidered badges, the diversity we have here, the representation is great. This guy, love the characterization of this idea of a villain who he said we love to hate. This campaign will really make the game Peddler's Revenge. Yes, yeah, we didn't get a chance to look at that final element of it, but yeah, really, it's made me excited. And what I like about it as well, with all of Hatchling games, is that it's aimed for an audience of people, younger audience, obviously, but also for people who haven't played role-playing games before, or run role-playing games before. I think for this, all carved from Brindlewood Bay games. It is so easy to pick it up and go. It is so easy just to follow that pilot episode and then get into it. And certainly with a game like this, where the mechanics are so flavoursome and just it's obvious in a way. She says quotation marks. Like, again, maybe it takes you time to get your head around it. Maybe that collaborative element might be new to some people. Like, I know certainly when I played the first like card from Brindlewood game system, it was new to some people then. People get very excited to be able to contribute and stuff. So I think just setting that expectation up top as well. But yeah, I've really enjoyed reading through this. So thank you so much, Rich, for getting in touch. And honestly, absolute kudos to you and the full Hatchling teams. You guys have done such a great job on this. And yeah, I really hope that more people get to check out your games. I know you've got so many games on the go and stuff, and you've got more and more things. But please go check out Hatchling's games. Obviously, if you're going to UK Games Expo, they'll be there. Rich, if you want to put what, I appreciate that's very current now, but like what stand number you're on and what you can get and stuff like that, that'll be amazing. And I'll make sure that to have all the links and stuff like that as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so excited for the full game next month. Yes, I know, you sort of mid-June-ish is when the full PDF is out, so keep your eyes out for that. Honestly, thank you so much, friends, for taking the time to spend some time with me. Appreciate my voice has gone a little bit at the end, but you can tell I've really enjoyed it. And there's so much to this game as well. Like, I get that full vibes and full feelings. It feels very wholesome. The cozy horror aspect we talked about earlier, absolutely loved it. Okay, hole 215, that is the stall number or the stand number. You can go check out Rich and the other games, Inspire Isles and Over Isles and Dragon Dowser and see Cryptid Creeks as well. As I said, thank you so much, friends. I'll come back to Big Fiona Face. Ugh. Oh no. Ugh. Thank you so much for being here, friends. If people are interested and want to know more about what I do, because I'm just here just chatting away for 2 hours every couple of days, I run What Am I Rolling, which is a twice-monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast where we look at different RPG systems, run a couple of one-shots, and mostly talk with game designers as well. So yeah, come check that out. If you're like, oh, Fiona, whilst you've spent 2 hours talking excitedly about this RPG, I only read D&D books. Sure, we also do that as well. We've got the DM's Book Club, which is a weekly book club podcast. We talk about some Dungeons & Dragons and how we can use such lore and put it into any role-playing game, setting, or campaign story. Because we read the books because you don't have to, but also like something that inspires you, you can put it into any system. It doesn't have to be the 5th edition system. And that's what again, looking at something like Cryptid Creeks, you instantly got that vibe, and it's a system that is very straightforward and easy to learn, like I said, for any new scouts or new navigators as well. So come check that out. If you want to come up, check out the DM's book as well. Finally, I will just put it in just in case. If you've been watching this, if this is the first time you've like going, oh, who's this random person that's just talking about the game I like? I can't spell Discord for love nor money. There we go. We do have a Discord for these things, so come check out the Where and DMBC Discord, where I'll put up like links to events of like, I should do a Too Long Didn't Read Tabletop RPG stream today. So come check those out, and also come chat with us. We love hearing new RPGs and discussions about different games as well. And let us know if there's any suggestions as well. We're always up for new suggestions as well. This week, she says, trying to desperately find the link to her thing, because I did write them down. And did I say anything? No, I didn't. We've got Babes in the Wood. We're doing a Too Long Didn't Read tabletop RPG stream of Babes in the Wood on Thursday around 5 p.m. BST or 11 p.m. Central. And then we're also, on Friday, we're going to do another Too Long Didn't Read tabletop RPG stream, Castles in the Air. Looking at the preview chapter from the from the Good Society designers Story Brewers role playing. So we've covered Good Society here on this channel before, and we're going to look at the preview chapter. So that'll be exciting there. And then we've got a couple of others coming up, but those are the ones that are planned this week. But please come check them out. If you're interested in sub to the channel and stuff like that. Again, I'm slowly building an idea of what this is going to be, whether it's something of interest and stuff. But it's nice to be able to go through RPGs and go, I really like this. Would I play a game of this? Would I use this to make my own system? All that sort of thing. So that's kind of what these streams are for. Anyway, I'm going to go grab some lunch my time, and you guys can go off if you're interested. There's a Tales from the Loop sponsored stream happening over at the Lore Mistress, who's another collaborator with Hatchling Games, over on their Twitch just now at I think 8 p.m. BST, so 2 p.m. Central. and I'm in it. Go check it out. So yeah, go check those things out. But thank you so much. I'm going to do one more final spam of the RPG, so you can go check out the Quickstart. And yeah, follow along for updates with the back kit for the full version, which comes out next month. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you so much for making this enjoyable. Thanks for chatting, and very much appreciate your time. I'll come back and I'll see you on Thursday, hopefully, for Babes in the Wood. You'll find the end of stream channel. I'm just going to wave awkwardly. See you, friends. Bye.